if the best way to become fluent in English is something you already know how to do? You have already learned one language successfully, your mother tongue. You learned thousands of words. You learned how to ask questions, tell stories, make jokes, explain your feelings, and speak with other people. But here is the surprising part. You did all of that before you understood what grammar was. You did not sit in your baby chair with a grammar book. You did not say, "Mother, please explain the present perfect tense before lunch." No. You listened, you watched, you copied, you made mistakes, and little by little, you understood more. In this podcast, you are going to discover how to use the same natural learning process to improve your English. Stay until the end because I will give you a simple daily routine that takes only 15 minutes. Yes, 15 minutes. You will also learn how to stop translating every sentence, how to speak without being afraid, and how to make English a natural part of your day. And do not worry, you do not need to become a baby again. You can keep your phone, your coffee, and your adult responsibilities, although taking a baby-style afternoon nap might be helpful. Let's begin.
Part 1. You did not study your first language. Think about the first language you learned. How did you learn the word milk? Maybe a family member held a bottle and asked, "Do you want milk?" You saw the bottle, you heard the word, you noticed the situation. After hearing the word many times, your brain connected the sound milk with the white drink in the bottle. You did not need a translation. You did not ask, "Excuse me, what is the dictionary definition of milk?" You understood the meaning from the real situation. This process is called language acquisition. Acquisition may sound like a difficult word, but the idea is simple. It means learning a language naturally by hearing, seeing, understanding, and using it. Studying and acquiring are not exactly the same. When you study, you may memorize rules. For example, the third-person singular verb usually ends in S. When you acquire language, you hear natural sentences many times. He works. She likes coffee. My brother plays football. After enough listening, these sentences begin to sound normal. Your brain starts to notice the pattern. This does not mean grammar books are bad. Grammar can help you understand confusing points. It can help you correct repeated mistakes. But grammar should be a tool. It should not become a prison. You do not need to understand every rule before you speak. You can learn a rule and also listen to real examples. For instance, you can study the past tense for 10 minutes, then you can listen to a short story. Yesterday, I woke up late. I missed the bus. I ran to work. My manager looked at me and said, "Good morning," or should I say, "Good afternoon?" Now the grammar is inside a story. It has meaning. It has emotion. It is easier to remember.
Part 2. Your brain learns through meaning. Your brain is not a computer that only saves lists of words. Your brain loves meaning, pictures, emotions, stories, and connections. Imagine that I showed you a pen. I say, "This is a pen." Then I write something and say, "I am writing with a pen." Then I drop it and say, "Oh no, I dropped my pen." Then I look under the table and ask, "Where is my pen?" You can understand the word because you can see the object and the action. You hear the same word in different sentences. This is much more powerful than only reading pen equals a tool used for writing. Now imagine that you learn the word hungry. You see someone looking at food. They touch their stomach and say, "I'm hungry." You understand the feeling. You may even feel hungry too. especially if someone shows you pizza. Your brain says, important information. Save this word immediately. This is why understandable English is so useful. You need English that is a little higher than your current level, but not so difficult that you understand nothing. For example, imagine your English level is A2. A video at the C2 level may feel like this, considering the socioeconomic consequences of global urbanization. And your brain says, I understood the. That material may be too difficult right now, but a clear story with pictures, actions, and simple explanations can help you understand new words naturally. You do not need to understand 100%. Understanding about 70 to 90% is often enough to follow the main idea and to learn something new.
Part 3. The biggest mistake many learners make. Here is a mistake that can keep people silent for years. They wait until their English is perfect before they speak. But perfection never arrives before practice. It arrives because of practice. Think about a child learning to walk. The child stands up. The child falls down. The child stands up again. Nobody says, "Oh, that was terrible walking. Please study walking grammar for 6 months." The family smiles and encourages the child. They know falling is part of learning. Speaking English works in a similar way. You will make mistakes. Sometimes you will use the wrong tense. Sometimes you will forget a word. Sometimes your sentence will sound unusual. And sometimes you will create a completely new word. Maybe you want to say, I am very tired, but you say, I am very sleepful. Is sleepful a normal word? Not really. Can people understand you? Probably. The conversation can continue. Communication is the first goal. Accuracy can improve step by step. Here is an important question. Did the other person understand your meaning? If the answer is yes, the conversation was successful. You can correct the grammar later. Do not stop a real conversation every 3 seconds to judge yourself. Imagine speaking like this. Is it went or have gone? Yesterday means past simple. Let me check my grammar notes. The other person may finish their coffee, go home, sleep for 8 hours, and come back while you are still choosing the verb. Say the sentence, continue the conversation. Notice the correction later. This is how confidence grows. Part 4. A story about a successful English learner. Imagine a woman named Sarah. Sarah worked at a hotel. She was excellent at her job, but she felt nervous when international guests spoke English. Every time a guest asked a question, her mind became empty. One evening, a guest asked, "Could you tell me where the nearest pharmacy is?" Sarah knew the words nearest and pharmacy, but she was afraid of making a mistake. She looked at her coworker and asked him to answer. That night, she felt disappointed, but she made a simple decision. She did not promise to study English for 5 hours every day. She promised to speak English for 10 minutes every day. In the morning, she described her actions. I am making tea. I am opening the window. I am looking for my keys. Then, I still cannot find my keys. Why do my keys hate me? At work, she learned 5 useful hotel sentences each week. She listened to them, she repeated them, she used them with guests. At first, her voice was quiet. A few months later, she could welcome guests, answer common questions, and solve simple problems in English. One day, a guest thanked her and said, "Your English is very clear." Sarah did not become confident and then start speaking. She started speaking and then she became confident. That difference is important. Confidence is not always the first step. Sometimes
Confidence is the reward you receive after many small, brave actions. Part 5. Stop translating every word in your head. Quick question. When you hear the word apple, what appears in your mind? Do you see the word in your own language? Or do you see a red or green fruit? To think more naturally in English, try to connect English words directly to pictures, actions, feelings, and ideas. Look at your glasses. Do not think glasses equal this word in my language. Look at the object and think glasses. Put them on and say, I am putting on my glasses. Take them off and say, I am taking off my glasses. Now the word is connected to a real action. Try the same method with a pen. This is a pen. I am holding a pen. I am writing with a pen. This pen does not work. Of course it does not work. It worked yesterday when I did not need it. Translation is not always bad. Sometimes you need it to understand an abstract or difficult idea. But if you translate every word, speaking becomes slow. Your brain follows a long road. Idea to mother tongue to English to spoken sentence. You want to build a shorter road. Idea to English to spoken sentence. This shorter road takes time to build. Do not expect it to happen in one day. Begin with simple objects and daily actions. When you see water, think water. When you feel tired, think I'm tired. When you need food, think I'm hungry. When your internet stops working, think my internet is gone. My life is over. Then remember that you still have books. Sorry, that may not make you feel better. The important point is to connect English directly to your experience. Part 6. Build an English world around you. You may think, I cannot learn naturally because I do not live in an English-speaking country. But today, you can create a small English world almost anywhere. Your phone can become part of that world. Your music can become part of it. Your videos, notes, social media, and daily habits can become part of it. Here are several simple ways to do that. 1. Change part of your phone to English. You do not need to change everything on the first day. That may become confusing. Start with one application that you use often. Learn words such as settings, save, delete, share, search, message, call, edit, download, upload. Because you see these words every day, they become familiar. Just be careful with the word delete. You do not want to press it and say, oh, today I learned a new word and lost all my photos. 2. Follow simple English content. Choose videos that you can mostly understand. Cooking videos can be useful because you can see every action. Cut the onion. Add some salt. Mix the ingredients. Put it in the oven. And then, do not forget it is in the oven. That final sentence is very important. Simple travel videos, daily life videos, cartoons, interviews, and short stories are also helpful.
Choose topics you already enjoy. When the subject is interesting, your brain pays more attention. If you love football, watch simple football content. If you love fashion, learn English through fashion. If you love technology, listen to simple technology reviews. You do not need to learn English through topics that make you sleepy. Today, we will study the complete history of office paper. Your interests are powerful learning tools. 3. Use English subtitles carefully. English subtitles can help you connect sounds with written words. Listen first, then look at the subtitle if you need help. Try not to read subtitles in your mother tongue all the time. When you read translated subtitles, your attention may stay in your first language. A useful method is, first, watch a short part without subtitles. Second, watch it with English subtitles. Third, watch it again and repeat the speaker. This gives your brain several chances to understand the same language. Part 7. Talk to yourself. Talking to yourself is one of the easiest ways to practice speaking. And the best part? Your speaking partner is always available. They never cancel the lesson. They never say, "Sorry, I am busy today." Although they may sometimes forget what they wanted to say. Describe your day in simple English. In the morning, I am getting out of bed. I am opening the curtains. It is sunny today. Or, it is raining again. Wonderful. My shoes are going to become small swimming pools. While making breakfast, I am boiling water. I am making tea. I am cutting bread. I need a clean cup. While leaving home, I am locking the door. I am waiting for the bus. The bus is late. I am trying to stay calm. At night, today was busy. I finished my work. I spoke to my friend. I am tired, but I practiced English. You can also ask yourself questions. What can I see? What can I hear? What am I doing? How do I feel? What am I going to do next? At first, use short sentences. Later, add more details. Level 1, I see a tree. Level 2, I see a tall green tree. Level 3, I see a tall green tree moving in the wind, and 2 birds are sitting on one of its branches. This is how simple language grows into richer language.
Part 8. Use the copying method. Babies copy sounds before they can create long sentences. Adult learners can use the same idea. This practice is sometimes called shadowing. You listen to a short sentence and repeat it soon after the speaker. For example, speaker, I'm going to the store. You, I'm going to the store. Speaker, I need to buy some milk. You, I need to buy some milk. Try to copy more than the words. Copy the rhythm. Copy the stress. Copy the emotion. If the speaker sounds excited, sound excited. If the speaker is surprised, show surprise. For example, I passed my exam. You passed your exam? Yes, I can't believe it. English is not only vocabulary and grammar, it is also music. Some words are stronger, some are softer. The voice goes up and down. When you copy this music, your speech begins to sound more natural. Start with 10 or 20 seconds. Do not choose a 10-minute speech on your first day. That is like going to the gym for the first time and trying to lift the building. Short, repeated practice is better.
Part 9. Learn complete phrases, not only single words. Many learners collect single words. They know decision, advice, mistake, progress, but they do not know how to use them naturally. Learn common word groups. Instead of only learning decision, learn make a decision. Instead of only learning advice, learn give advice. Ask for advice. Instead of only learning mistake, learn make a mistake. Learn from a mistake. Instead of only learning progress, learn make progress. When you learn complete phrases, you can speak faster. Your brain does not need to build every sentence word by word. Imagine making a sandwich. Single words are individual ingredients. A useful phrase is a sandwich that is already prepared. You can take it and use it immediately. No need to grow the tomatoes first. Here are some useful daily phrases. I'm not sure.
Let me think. Could you say that again? What does that mean? How do you say this in English? That sounds interesting. I agree with you. I don't completely agree. In my opinion, the main reason is, can you give me an example? These phrases help you continue conversations, even when your English is not perfect.
Part 10. Create small stories. Stories help your brain remember language. Choose 3 or 4 new words and put them into a funny story. Imagine your new words are umbrella, hungry, bus, forget. You could create this story. Yesterday, I was waiting for the bus. It started raining, but I forgot my umbrella. I was also very hungry. Then the bus arrived, but I was looking at a sandwich in a shop window. The bus left without me. So I lost the bus, got wet, and still did not get the sandwich. The story is simple, but the words are connected. You can make the story more unusual. Unusual stories are often easier to remember. For example, a hungry elephant was waiting for the bus. It had a tiny pink umbrella. The driver said, "Sorry, no elephants on the bus." The elephant said, "But I already bought a ticket." The story does not need to be realistic. It only needs to help you remember and use the language. Part 11. A second success story. Imagine a man named Daniel. Daniel was a talented software developer. He could solve difficult technical problems, but during English meetings, he rarely spoke. He worried that his coworkers would notice every mistake. After meetings, he often thought, "I knew the answer. Why didn't I say anything?" One day, his manager asked him to explain a project to an international team. Daniel felt terrified. He had 2 weeks to prepare. Instead of memorizing one long speech, he divided the presentation into small parts. Every day, he practiced for 20 minutes. He recorded himself. At first, he did not like his voice. He noticed long pauses and pronunciation problems, but he did not stop. He listened, corrected 1 or 2 things, and recorded again. He also prepared useful phrases. Let me explain the main idea. Here is a simple example. The next step is, please stop me if you have a question. On presentation day, Daniel still felt nervous. His hands were cold. His heart was beating fast. But he began. Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to explain our new project. After the first minute, he felt calmer. He completed the presentation and answered 3 questions. It was not perfect, but it was clear. Later, one coworker told him, "That was a very useful presentation." Daniel learned something important. Fluency does not mean never stopping. It does not mean knowing every English word. Fluency means expressing your ideas clearly enough to connect with other people. Part 12. Find a supportive guide. When you learned your first language, people around you helped you. They repeated words, they explained things, they corrected you, they encouraged you. As an adult, it is helpful to find a supportive person who can do something similar. This person could be a teacher, a tutor, a friend, a language partner, a coworker, an online speaking partner. The important word is supportive. You need someone who helps you feel safe enough to speak. Correction should be useful, not painful. Imagine that you say, "Yesterday I go to the market." A helpful correction could be, "Good, because it happened yesterday, say, yesterday I went to the market." Then you repeat, "Yesterday I went to the market." That is enough. You do not need a 20-minute lecture about the complete history of irregular verbs while you are trying to tell a story. Also, ask your teacher or partner not to correct every tiny mistake immediately. Too many interruptions can destroy your confidence and make the conversation unnatural. Choose 1 or 2 important areas to improve at a time. For example, today, focus on past tense verbs. Tomorrow, focus on pronunciation. Next week, focus on longer answers. Small goals are easier to manage. Part 13. Use mistakes as information. A mistake is not proof that you are bad at English. A mistake shows you what your brain is still learning. Think of mistakes as signs on the road. They tell you, practice this part again. Suppose you often say, "she go to work." Do not become angry with yourself.
Notice the pattern. Write 3 correct examples. She goes to work. He goes to school. My brother goes to the gym. Say them several times. Then create personal examples. My mother goes shopping on Fridays. My friend goes to work by bus. Now you are teaching your brain the correct pattern. Mistakes become useful when you notice them, understand them, and practice the correction. A mistake is like a small teacher. Sometimes it is an annoying teacher, but it is still trying to help you.
Part 14. Do not try to learn everything. Here is a warning that can save you a lot of time. Do not try to learn every new word you see. You will feel tired. You may lose motivation, and your notebook may become heavier than your future. Focus on useful words. Ask, will I use this word? Is it connected to my work, life, interests, or goals? Have I seen this word several times? A nurse may need words related to health and patience. A shop worker may need words related to price, size, color, and payment. A traveler may need words related to hotels, transportation, food, and directions. A content creator may need words related to videos, editing, audiences, and ideas. Learn the English that helps you live the life you want. This is an identity-based approach. Do not only say, I am studying English. Say, I am becoming a person who uses English. I am becoming an international professional. I am becoming a confident traveler. I am becoming someone who can connect with people around the world. Your identity can guide your habits. When you see yourself as an English user, even 5 minutes of practice becomes meaningful.
Part 15. Make English emotional. Emotion helps memory. You often remember moments that made you happy, surprised, embarrassed, or excited. Use emotion when you practice English. Do not repeat every sentence like a tired robot. I am very excited. That does not sound excited. Try again. I am so excited. Now try sadness. I missed the train. Try surprise. You ate the whole cake? Try anger. Who took my charger? Try fear. I heard a strange sound downstairs. Try relief. Oh, it was only the cat. Using emotion makes practice more enjoyable. It also prepares you for real conversations. Real people do not speak with one emotion all day, unless they are customer service robots. Thank you for your message. Your happiness is very important to us.
Part 16. Describe real objects around you. Let's practice understandable English together. Look around your room. Choose one object. For example, a hairbrush. This is a hairbrush. I use it for my hair. I am brushing my hair. My hair is messy today. My hair has its own plans. Now choose a bottle of perfume. This is a bottle of perfume. I am taking off the cap. I am spraying the perfume. It smells sweet. I usually wear it when I go outside. Now choose your glasses. These are my glasses. They help me see clearly. I am putting on my glasses. I am taking off my glasses. I cannot find my glasses. Oh, they are on my face. Now choose a notebook. This is my notebook. I write new words in it. I wrote 3 sentences yesterday. Today, I'm going to write a short story. Notice how one object can teach you many words and sentence patterns. You can talk about its name, its color, its size, its purpose, its location, what you do with it, when you bought it, why you like it. For example, this is my blue notebook. It is small and light. I bought it last month. I use it to write English phrases. It is usually on my desk, but sometimes I put it in my bag. That is a complete speaking exercise from one simple object. Part 17. Learn through pictures. Pictures are excellent tools for language learning. Look at a picture and describe what you see. Imagine a picture with 3 dogs. There are 3 dogs in the picture. One dog is yellow. One dog is brown. One dog is black. The black dog has its mouth open. The brown dog looks calm. The yellow dog is looking at the camera. Now add your imagination. Maybe the dogs are waiting for food. Perhaps they heard someone open a bag of snacks. Did somebody say snacks? You can ask questions about the picture. Where are the dogs? What are they doing? How do they feel? What happened before this picture? What will happen next? Pictures help you move from simple description to storytelling. Now imagine a red bird in a tree. This is a red bird. It is standing on a branch. The tree has green leaves. The bird is looking to the left. Maybe it is looking for food. Perhaps another bird is calling it. Then create a funny sentence. The bird is waiting for an important phone call, but birds do not have pockets. Simple humor makes the practice more memorable. Part 18. Use cartoons and simple shows. Cartoons and simple shows can be useful because the language is often clear and connected to visible actions. Characters may say, "Open the door," "Come here," "Be careful," "Where are you going?" "I'm hungry," "Let's go home." You can see what is happening while you hear the words. But choose the right cartoon. Some cartoons use strange voices, very fast speech, or difficult jokes. Try several options and choose one you can understand. Watch a short part, not a full hour. Use this 4-step method. First, watch for meaning. Do not stop every second. Second, watch again and notice useful phrases. Third, repeat 2 or 3 sentences. Fourth, use one phrase in your own example. Suppose a character says, "What are you doing here?" You can create, "What are you doing in my room?" "What are you doing with my phone?" "What are you doing with that giant sandwich?" And more importantly, "Can I have half?"
Part 19. Build a daily habit. You do not need to study for 4 hours every day. A short routine that you repeat is often more useful than one long steady day followed by 6 days of nothing. Here is a simple 15-minute routine. Minutes 1 to 5. Listen. Choose a short English video, story, or podcast. Listen for the main idea. Do not stop for every unknown word. Ask, who is speaking? What is happening? What is the main message? Minutes 6 to 8. Listen again. Replay a short section. Use English subtitles if necessary. Notice 2 or 3 useful phrases. Minutes 9 to 11. Copy. Repeat the speaker. Copy the pronunciation, rhythm, and emotion. Record yourself if possible. Minutes 12 to 14. Create. Use the new phrases in your own sentences. For example, you hear, "I'm looking forward to it." Create. "I'm looking forward to the weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing my friend. I'm looking forward to eating dinner because I am extremely hungry." Minute 15. Review. Ask yourself, what did I learn today? Say one sentence from memory. Write one useful phrase. Then stop. Stopping is important. You want to finish while you still have energy. This makes it easier to return tomorrow. Part 20. What to do when you lose motivation. Some days you will feel excited. Other days, English will feel difficult. You may listen to someone and think, why are they speaking at the speed of light? You may forget a word you learned yesterday. You may compare yourself to another learner. This is normal. Motivation changes. Habits can continue even when motivation is low. On a difficult day, reduce the task. Listen for 2 minutes. Repeat one sentence. Describe one object. Write 3 lines. A small action keeps the connection alive. Think about brushing your teeth. You do not wait for strong motivation. Today, I feel deeply inspired to brush my teeth. No, you do it because it is part of your routine. English practice can become the same. Also, measure your progress correctly. Do not only ask, "Am I fluent yet?" That question can make progress feel invisible. Ask smaller questions. Can I understand more than last month? Can I speak for 1 minute without stopping? Can I introduce myself more clearly? Can I understand a video that was difficult before? Am I less afraid of making mistakes? These are real signs of progress.
Part 21. The 1-month challenge. Here is your challenge. For the next 30 days, use English every day. Not only study English, use it. On day 1, describe your morning. On day 2, describe 5 objects. On day 3, listen to a short story. On day 4, copy 10 sentences. On day 5, record yourself speaking for 1 minute. Then continue mixing these activities. At the end of 30 days, listen to your first recording again. You may notice clearer pronunciation. You may speak faster. You may use longer sentences. You may feel less nervous. Imagine yourself 1 month from today. You open your mouth and the sentence comes more easily. You understand a phrase without translating it. You watch a simple video and suddenly realize, wait, I understood that. That moment is powerful, but you can only reach it by beginning. Do not wait for the perfect book, the perfect teacher, the perfect application, or the perfect Monday. Monday has enough responsibilities already. Start with what you have today. Part 22. The Truth About Fluency. Fluency is not magic. It is not a secret talent that only lucky people have. It grows through many small moments. Hearing a phrase again, understanding a new word, repeating a sentence, making a mistake, trying again, having a short conversation, thinking in English for a few seconds, understanding a joke, telling your own story. Your mother tongue became strong because it was part of your life. English could also become part of your life. You may not learn it in exactly the same way as a baby because you are an adult now. Adults can use grammar explanations, dictionaries, teachers, and learning strategies. These tools are useful, but the main lesson from children is still powerful. Language must be experienced. You need to hear it. You need to understand it. You need to connect it to real meaning, and you need to use it without being controlled by fear.
Final exercise. Before you leave, look at one object near you. It could be your phone, a cup, a chair, a bag, or a book. Say its name in English. Then create 3 sentences about it. For example, this is my phone. I use it every day. I am listening to an English podcast on it. Now add 1 funny sentence. My phone knows more about my life than some of my friends. Excellent. You have just used English naturally. You saw an object. You connected it to English. You created your own meaning. That is the process. Closing hook and call to action. Inspiring, warm. Remember the question from the beginning? What if the best way to improve your English is something you already know how to do? Now you know the answer. You have already proved that your brain can learn a language. You did it once. You can do it again. This time, you are not starting as a helpless baby. You have experience. You have technology. You have learning tools. You have goals. And now you have a clear method. Listen to understandable English. Connect words to real meaning. Copy useful sentences. Speak before you feel perfect. Accept mistakes. Create a small English world around you. Practice for a few minutes every day. Slower. Emotional. Your next English conversation may not be perfect, but it could be the conversation that changes your confidence. Your next short practice may not feel important, but it could be one small step toward a new job, a new friendship, a new journey, or a new version of yourself. Do not lose another month waiting to feel ready. You become ready by practicing. Encouraging. After this podcast ends, speak English for 1 minute. Talk about your room. Talk about your day. Talk about what you learned. Just begin. Thank you so much for listening. Keep learning. Keep speaking, keep making brave mistakes. And remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner who could not find the right word. Sometimes we still cannot find the right word. We just smile and say, you know, that thing, the thing for the other thing. See you in the next episode. Take care, enjoy your English journey, and keep going. You are making more progress than you think.